Hi everyone, welcome back. It's been a little while since my last video, and one of the reasons why I haven't made a video between the last one and now is it's been quite busy, and it's also been quite windy. And when it's windy I struggle to make videos because the wind just blows out the sound on the video. So I have tried to make a video sooner, but it's just been too windy and you can't hear a word I'm saying. It just makes the video crap. So this is one of the first chances I've had to come out and do a video when it's been not so windy. It is a bit breezy still today, so there is a bit of wind noise. Sorry about that, but I can't wait any longer because things are getting a bit big and there's some jobs I've got to do in the garden. So I just want to show you what I've got planned and how things are going. And I'm going to start down here with the butternuts, and I just want to say this year a lot of things have grown very poorly compared to the last couple of years. I don't know what it is, whether it's the weather or what, but some of the beds, I'll show you clips of what they looked like 2 years ago, more or less the same time. I've got a video I did on the 22nd of January 2017. It's the only one I've got that I did in January as a comparison, so you'll see the difference of what the vegetable garden looked like this time 2 years ago compared to what it looked like now. And a lot of the plants have done very poorly compared to what they used to do. So start with the butternuts, and this hasn't done too bad. It's got quite big, but I don't have a lot of butternuts. I normally get a lot more than I've got now. At the moment, just quickly counting, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's about 8 butternuts here. Normally I get 12, 14, sometimes more. But they are a little bit bigger than they normally are. There's a giant one hanging at the back there on the trellis, but hasn't done as well as it does in normal years. And this bed where the aubergines and the peppers are, you'll see, I'll put a clip up of the video I did 2 years ago. The peppers are tiny in comparison. They're very smaller plants. This one on the right I'm showing you now is the same variety as I grew 2 years ago, and I've got very little peppers, very small peppers, very small plants. These ones on the left are a different variety, I haven't grown before. These are orange peppers. The one at the front here has got a few tiny peppers on. The other two have done very badly. The brinjals or the aubergines are the same thing again. These 4 little plants at the back are the variety that I grew 2 years ago. They were long. I mean, these plants this time 2 years ago are about 5 foot tall, and they had plenty of aubergines, brinjals on, but at the moment nothing. The only one I've got that's got any brinjals on is this one at the back here. That's got one on there, and I've already picked one. The other 2 plants are also very small. This one's got a small brinjal down here, but this bed has done very poorly compared to recent years. This bed's got the spring onions and the shallots, which these have done quite well. For shallots, these are probably the best shallots I've grown at this stage so far. Still got a long way to go, but they're looking quite healthy. No brown leaves, quite tall, so fingers crossed these ones are doing quite well. The lettuce has gone crazy. It was like this when I came back off of holiday. I just haven't got around to taking it out. But today, after I finish doing this video, this is all coming out, and I'm going to plant my garlic in this bed. So today that's all coming out, and the garlic will go in its place. But this just went crazy. While I was away on holiday, they went from being perfect, just under a perfect size lettuce to pick, to coming back and being 4 or 5 foot tall. So that's well past its best, and that's got to come out. One thing that has done great this year is these courgettes zucchini. They have gone prolific this year. I mean, I've never grown such big plants. I've got a metal spike here. I don't know if you're going to see it on the video. That metal spike is about 900 mil high, 3 foot high. The plant reached the top of that, and now it's hanging over, and it's probably about another 18 inches longer than that spike. So if that metal spike was longer, that plant would be way up in the air, and they've just been coming thick and fast. I can't keep up with them. I've only got 2 plants and we just can't eat the zucchini quick enough. But they've done really well this year, and they make these massive flowers on the end of the zucchini. Like I said, they're just thick and fast. These ones come. Next bed is beetroot and carrots, and they're pretty much the same every year, the same sort of results. Beetroot's probably past its best now. It needs to come out. It's too hot for the beetroot. It loses its flavour. So that's got to come out. Potatoes. Some of them are looking a little worse for wear. Others are setting a few more flowers, but I'm probably going to start digging these up soon, having a scratch around and see what's down there to start to get through these, because I need to start getting through these beds now, because I'm going to have to start planting winter veg in the next couple of months. So potatoes are doing okay, and this bed is the cucumber. I don't know if you can see that the cucumber has really taken off. It took a long while to get going. Normally it starts off very quick in the year. By this time of the year it's almost dead. It's done what it's got to do, but this one took a long while to get going, but once it got going it's filled up that trellis and it's reached the top, and it's actually out through the roof of the netting, so that's got to be trimmed back. And the cucumbers it produces is unbelievable. I mean, I've been picking these as fast as they're making. I've got probably 10 or 12 that I've already picked lying somewhere in the kitchen, and just looking at the plant itself now I can see at least now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it's probably at least another 10 on the plant. So they produce thick and fast when they do get going. But next year I might try a different variety that produces a little slower, because I just can't keep up with the cucumbers. There's too many. So I might try a different variety that grows maybe a bigger type of cucumber rather than these short little ones. It just takes a little longer to grow, so they don't come as quick as they normally do. This side is the green beans, and this row I've been picking beans. There's still probably another 2 or 3 harvests off of this row here, and then on this side is another row I sowed probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago, so it won't be long before the time the ones on the right are finished. This one should be ready, and I think that'll be it for this bed. I won't sow no more beans after this row, and I can keep this bed for winter stuff. Tomatoes, also a little disappointing this year. I've got one tomato that has grown right to the top of the netting, but you'll see on the clip I put up that nearly all my tomatoes are normally, by this time of the year, they're normally all reach the top of the net, and they are full of tomatoes. I've got quite a few tomatoes, like this one at the end here seems to have, but not the quantity I normally get. By this time of the year I've normally got so many tomatoes I don't know what to do with, but I've probably picked maybe 3 or 4 tomatoes so far. They just don't seem to be producing as prolific as they normally do. This very tall one on the end here has got, I think it's a different variety. It came out that all the seeds are in the same packet, but as you can see these produce like long trusses of tomatoes, whereas the other plants just tend to produce sort of one or two, maybe two or three next to each other. So this one is definitely a different variety, obviously a stray seed that made its way into the packet from somewhere else. And that one is doing the best of all. So that one's the tallest. Hasn't got the biggest tomatoes, but it's got the most tomatoes. And then at the front there's this plant. When I came back off holiday, had some sort of disease. It was dying a death, so I whipped that out before it spread over to the rest. And that was a spare one I had in the pot, which I just planted. I don't know if I'm going to get anything off of it this year. It's a bit late really, but you never know. And then there's the basil down the middle. And then the last bed has got, it's just a row of rocket that I sowed a couple of weeks ago. And then 2 bush tomatoes, which just produce small little cherry type tomatoes, like this one here. And this one's got plenty of tomatoes on, and they're just starting to ripen up now, so they're also a bit late in the season to start to ripen. So in all, it's not been the best growing season, I must admit. So I don't know if it's the weather. We did have a very long hot dry spell and we had a lot of rain, so I don't know if it's the weather, or I just need to maybe add a bit more fertiliser or manure to my beds. I don't normally add any fertiliser to these beds. I just normally add maybe manure once every 2 or 3 years, but they do get topped up with my own homemade compost every year. I get a good layer of compost on top. So I don't know if they just need a bit more food, so what I might do is before I plant my winter veg, give every bed maybe a bag of manure to top it up, and then do the same again at the beginning of the summer this year. So that's all for now. As I say, today I'm going to be out here tidying up a little bit and planting my garlic, and if the wind holds off I might do a video showing how I plant my garlic. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe. Cheers.